Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason Laporte. As always, my man Zach Partridge is in the house with me. How you doing, sir?
It's a great day. Braves are up 2-0.
I love that shirt too.
Thank
Do
you.
damage, baby.
It looks good.
Damage.
This looks good. It's going to be my fight shirt.
We got a exciting guest today.
Absolutely.
The other half of the main event for the November 14th Fierce Fighting Championship card, Mr. Bobby King. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Really good, really good. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day and out of your training time and coming on and chatting with us today.
Yeah, for sure. My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, you've probably spent as much time as in the Fierce cage as anybody has over the last few years.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like your home promotion, you feel like?
Yeah, pretty much. They take good care of me, and Cody's, he's a stud. They always get me on there, and so I've loved fighting on their cars, man. They're definitely top level out here.
You got to do something that I think that more MMA fans love and enjoy, but I think promoters have kind of shied away from. You got to do the tournament, their 155 tournament, right?
Yeah.
And I think fans everywhere love that. You're seeing the PFLs getting really big with that stuff. But as I've talked to other promoters about it, they said the logistics is a nightmare. Fighters getting hurt, pulling out like substitutions, whatever. What was that like for you? Did you like doing that?
Man, I love that. Yeah, because I knew I had fights lined up. If I won, I got 3 fights lined up in a row. So it was solid because it kept me in camp, kept me training, and, just kept me motivated the whole time. And obviously the perks were awesome too.
Yeah, Cody shared you got a nice little payday for winning that at the end too.
Yeah, sure. That was pretty cool.
Do you so what was it like? So you were scheduled to fight Thiago in the championship, and then he had some issues getting home from Brazil, if I remember right.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't remember what happened. Yeah, but he went home to go visit, and I think he couldn't come back. His visa or something happened. I don't know. But
what was it like fighting Nate Kersley again? Because do you train a little bit with Nate at the pit? I think I've seen you down there a few times.
Yeah, I did after that fight.
After that,
yeah. But after our first fight, we kind of became friends and kind of talked, and we talked about training. And we never did until that second fight happened. But I still, I respected him. I like the dude, man. He's a good guy, and is awesome fighting him. Yeah, I kind of had an idea that I was going to fight him again in that round for sure.
Okay, because the pool of 155ers locally isn't huge, right?
Right.
So you kind of get through everybody, and then you get to see, start moving on. What was LFA like? I know it's the same arena, but different promotion. Was there any different for that, or that felt pretty much the same?
Honestly, it felt the same for me. A little more pressure, of course, but it is what it is. It's just another day in the office, right? You walk in, you train, you do everything you can to prepare for it, and you just go out there and fight. So.
Do you have any tips for me? This is my first time fighting in the Maverick Center. I'm going from always fighting in the Union Event Center to fighting in the Maverick Center. You got any advice for me?
Oh man, I don't know. Just be you, bro. Go train and fight like you train. That's all I can say. I think you'll do great.
Appreciate that. Thanks. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say your last fight at the Maverick Center was phenomenal. Probably one of the best fights we've seen locally in a long time, technically wise. You obviously coming out with the W on that one. What was that fight like, man?
Oh man, that was a fun fight, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. He surprised me a little bit with the striking. He threw a lot more than I thought he would, and I knew his jiu-jitsu's on point, so that was fun to be able to showcase my jiu-jitsu a little bit with him, because I knew he was his jiu-jitsu is insane. So
yeah,
it was cool. It was fun to do that with him, and yeah, to come out with the knockout, it was pretty awesome as well.
It was impressive.
Thank you.
That was some straight up Bang Muay Thai combination knockout.
Yeah. We trained that combination a lot through that camp. We just knew he'd get tired, and my coach is in the corner after the second round. He's like, "Hey, as soon as you go out there, just throw the one body to the jab high low and then overhand," because he's dropping his left hand a lot. So he's like, "Just first thing you do, go out there and do that." And I listened to my corner, and I came out with the W. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's a great comment. So where I train, we used to be a Bang affiliate too, right? So
yeah.
I've spent a lot of time drilling that one body, So it's good. It works, man.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it paid off.
Yeah.
So what's this? So you're in the same boat too. You haven't fought since February. That's where I've been sitting. What's it been like for you going through this COVID stuff? You have the pressures of owning a gym, running a gym, right?
Yeah.
How's that been for you?
You know, it was a blessing in disguise. I feel like I got to go home and visit my family in Hawaii for a minute.
Oh, very cool.
But then, we got to open up, and luckily we have a good following of people, and they're very supportive. And they decided, most of them decided to stay with us and grow with us. So it's been awesome, honestly. It's been good to just recover and recuperate my body, because I was in camp for a little over a year straight, nonstop training, and so it was good to take a break and let my my body heal a little bit. But it's good to be back in training and fight and have a fight lined up. So,
and you have, let's see, Trevor's in your camp with you, right? And he's fighting on the card.
Yes, sir.
We'll get him in the podcast. And Bryce Administer, right?
Yeah, he's in my camp. Yeah, he's not
in your camp. He's not on the card.
He's not on the card though, right? Yeah. I think
No.
so.
And then, do you have anybody else that you're working with? Those are the two main guys that I know.
Yeah, I can't really think of. There's a ton of guys. Like I train out in Colorado a ton.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So Anthony Lobato is my jiu-jitsu coach over here. So I'm always working with him. There's Marshall, my other MMA coach. Of course, I train with Dwayne out there in Colorado.
Right.
I can't.
Putting you on the spot. Sorry.
Put him on the spot. That's all right.
Oh yeah, and then my boy Dex. He's been flying out there with me to Colorado. Dexter's actually on the card as well.
He's fighting Fabio, right?
Yeah. That.
Okay.
Fabio Sahal, and so it'd be good, man. I'm excited. It's been a good camp. I got a lot of guys behind me. Even my team, we just started this thing here at the gym to kind of be part of the fight camp with me, right? Prepare and did a deal for people if they want to join the gym. Because I train with a lot of our members that are not athletes or not fighters, I guess, right? So I train side by side with them, and I do everything with them. And so it's cool to see them training alongside me and vice versa, right? Because they push me as much as I push them, and they motivate me every day to be in here and be better.
That's
so
awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That is cool. That's pretty unique, right?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, yeah.
That's something unique to offer. So what excites you? I mean, you're the main event, but you're also going to be standing across the cage from. I said it. He kind of shied away from it, but I said it when we interviewed him. He's probably one of the top 2 or 3 guys to ever come out of Utah in the sport, Steven Siler. So
I'm excited, man. He's like you're saying, dude. He's a stud. I've heard that name a lot of times out here. You know what I mean? He's a big name in Utah. I know he's tough. It's going to be a hard fight, and I'm excited about it. Makes me train harder. It's a huge name for me too, as well. So.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, standing across the cage from him just validates my being in the sport, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, it validates. So Kevin Patton actually said something. I want to say it was back in February after your last fight, and he said you're probably the guy in Utah that's ready to take a big step up.
Let's go.
So yeah, so
Kevin, thanks.
So Kevin was giving you some love on a Facebook feed that was getting some other.
We talked about
stuff.
it on our podcast with him as well. Kevin mentioned it on the podcast as well. He said you were the one. Yeah.
So I mean, a win over Steven, not that you're looking past Steve Siler by any means, but a win after him. Do you have any idea of where you'd like to go from there after this fight?
I've always been looking at the top. Anything I did in life, I felt like I've always wanted to be the best of what I was doing. I was a fire knife dancer for years, and the top for that was a Cirque du Soleil, and I've always strived to be there. And I've actually been in that, in a show in Cirque du Soleil. And so no matter what I'm doing in life, I want to be at the top. So, whether it be UFC or Bellator, PFL, whatever, man, it's just something that's taking me to the next level of the fight world, right? That's kind of where I'm always trying to strive for, because I felt like I've always trained to be the best and at that level as well. You know what I mean? I've definitely rubbed shoulders with guys that are in the UFC, in the PFL, all those levels. So I feel like I'm definitely in that category to be up there with them.
You have gone down to the pit before, and I know Steve does do some of his training there. Has your guys' paths ever crossed there?
You know, we've never crossed paths training.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of, I thought the same thing, but you know, I love the guys at the pit, Ramsey and all that. They're always awesome. I've had nothing bad, but good vibes from Siler as well. I've never really met the dude, but I've seen him a ton, and you know, nothing but respect for all those guys, especially any fighter, you know, that steps in the cage. It takes a lot of sacrifice. So I never want to respect people that get in there. So
who are some of the fighters that you look at? Like, who are some of your dream fights that you look at? Like, you're like, one day I want to fight that dude.
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought about Max Holloway. Like, he'd be fun.
There we go.
And
That would be like a little Hawaiian on Hawaiian.
Yeah.
He'd be a thug fight, you know. Who else I thought about? Shoot.
That's a good dream fight. I was not expecting that name. That's a good
yeah.
dream fight.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I would love to train with him too, but you know, I don't know, man. Who else is thinking about the fight? Shoot.
Is there anybody locally that you haven't fought that you'd like to fight?
Not really. I don't really think about fighting anyone.
I'm not asking you to call anybody out or anything. Obviously before you fight. Just saying if there's a name.
You know, I just never really look at people, I want to fight him. I'm just like, whatever shows up, like, hey, if this match up, let's match up. You know, I never really pick a fight or look for a fight, but I don't really. I feel like I fought a lot of the guys already. That's the top in Utah.
Yeah,
I'd like to fight other guys that's out of state. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my head's at, honestly.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time, man. If this, I mean, obviously, like Zach said, we're not thinking ahead, but you get this W. I mean, you could be getting the call to get that next level. Maybe Dana White Contender Series.
That'd be awesome. I'd love that. Yeah, I'll be stoked, man. I'll be all over it. Here's what I do, you know. I train all day, every day. I coach. I live in the gym. So, I mean, like, let's go. Make it happen, you know. But like, I'm not looking past Siler at all. I know he's in the top five.
Yeah, for sure.
Stud. And I appreciate the opportunity, you know. Cody's just setting it up and making it happen. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all that.
I mean, I don't know how you feel too. I mean, sucker, you get to be the main event, so you get to sit in the back the whole time. I get to be one of the first, like 3 fights because I'm still amateur, and then I get to go sit in the stands and watch all you guys do your thing for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Do you relish that being the last fight and being the main event, or do you kind of feel like sometimes you'd like to get your fight done and over with so you can kind of enjoy it? Because you always have a huge crowd there and a ton of support too.
Yeah.
You know, I never really thought about it. I kind of just expect it now, you know, like it's not that I relish in it or I want it to be the last fight, but it's definitely an honor for me to be either one of the last fights or to be the main event. But I honestly, I like it because I train late anyway. I mean, I do that on purpose, but I literally go in there and I sleep for like 3 hours before the fight. You know, as soon as I walk in, I get checked in, whatever. I just find a spot in the corner and lay down and just kind of crash out and relax my body. Because, I mean, you know how it is. You're in the back. You can hear everyone screaming and yelling. Your adrenaline's just like up and down.
Yeah.
Well, I always try to just like put my headphones in, listen to some island music, and kind of just chill out in my own zone. Try not to think and hear the crowd going crazy. But
yeah, my last fight, actually, I adrenaline dumped big time. I was the co-main event, and before I walked out, I'm like, oh, my arms are heavy. I'm like, what is going on? This is not good.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm like, next time I'm bringing my AirPods, air canceling headphones. I'm gonna go sleep in a corner somewhere till it's my time to warm up.
Well, especially when you got teammates fighting on that card as well. So your emotions are, you know, you're getting amped up for their fights, and
you see you guys walking in the back, bloody and just like zoned out. They don't know where they're at. You're like, oh, dude, what is going on? You know? So I try to just zone all that out. I actually remember a fight. I think I fought on Still Fist, and we were in the cage. It was me and I can't remember his name, but we were both in the cage ready to fight, and someone got hurt outside, and they had to take the EMT had to take him out or whatever, and so we had to stop. Yeah, we're in the cage. And we couldn't go back. So like
that Ranger,
right? Yes, Ranger. That's right.
Yeah.
And so we're both in there, like, and I'm looking at my coach, David, at the time, Dave Castillo. I was like, dude, what are we gonna do? He's like, let's go in the back. And they're like, no, you can't go in the back. You gotta stay in the cage. We're like, are you kidding me? Like, let me grab my mitts. And we just started moving around in the cage. You're just like,
really?
Yeah, it was crazy. We were in there.
Wow.
a good 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the time before they could get the EMTs back and then start the fight. But yeah, I definitely adrenaline dumped that time, dude. That was rough. I was like, holy crap.
Well, from what it looks like, you knocked him out in the first round, so it couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah, he adrenaline dumped harder than me.
I was going to say, it's probably him that dumped harder.
Well, yeah, you're hitting mitts, and you're probably like hitting mitts, and he's sitting there hearing that crack, and he's like, "Oh man!"
Yeah, it was a fun fight though.
Yeah, it's dude. There's nothing like fighting in that cage. Like the experiences that come with it, the highs and lows. Like there's nothing like fighting. There's nothing on the planet like it.
I totally agree, man. Yeah, the highs and lows, it's insane. People don't get it, right? It's not like just a regular sport. You're in there and you're pretty much in front of your hometown, and you can either go either way, right? You win or you lose, and sometimes you lose really bad. It's not fun to lose in front of your crowd like that.
No, it is not.
No,
it is not. But it's what we signed up for. Love to do it. I had a good question, but go ahead.
You keep thinking of that. I'll just touch on what you just said, Bobby, about bringing the crowd. For everybody that's listening, don't wait until the last week to get your tickets, because there's only holding 3,000 seats in the Maverick Center for this event. And with everybody that's on this card, get your tickets from these guys now.
Yeah.
Do not wait to the last minute, because they will not be available.
Yeah, especially with everything going on right now. Like, you should get out and support. I mean, everyone's locked down or whatever. A lot of businesses are closed. Like, for them to let us do this, like, you guys should come out and support, and definitely don't wait, because I'm pretty sure it's already gone. Most of the seats are gone.
Well, I mean, word on the street is they've already sold out some of the VIP tables already.
No, all of them. And I'm blaming you. I know it's you, Bobby.
Probably,
I know it's you.
Don't blame me.
One of my sponsors called this morning to get a couple of those tables, and they said, "Oh, they're already gone." I'm like, "Yeah, Bobby, I knew it. I know it's you."
Yeah, Emily just sells all the tickets. She lets me focus on training. And so big, huge shout out to her and thank her for that, because I focus on training and she takes care of the rest. A lot of behind the scenes that most people don't see. So it's freaking awesome.
Shout out to Emily for setting this up for us. I'm assuming that's who I was talking to when we were setting it up. Shout out, Emily. Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, do you have any sponsors that you want to give a shout out to, Bobby?
Yeah, I have a lot of sponsors that sponsored me from the beginning, really. I had to actually write them down, but like a lot of guys, like Lululemon hooks me up with some gear. I always fight in Lululemon shorts, which is freaking awesome. Thank you guys for that.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Mountain Ops hooks me up with my protein and pre-workout and all that good stuff. For my financial stuff, I train a lot in Colorado, and I travel and I do a lot of personal training stuff. So, they help me out. Investment Auto, American Pacific Mortgage, the shop down in Heber, Noise Marketing, and Recover Strong, Sweet Rolled Tacos. You guys should check them out. They're awesome. I love ice cream.
Sounds good.
It's so good.
Okay.
What else we got over here? And Advanced Tree Service, and also Trace Minerals. Yeah, you guys should check them out too. Trace Minerals are awesome local brand out here. They do a lot of magnesium and minerals that your body needs to operate on. But yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Siler. I'm super pumped to be fighting on your guys' undercard. I think it's awesome, and I'm super excited to watch you guys fight.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing, man.
A little interesting. We could have my opponent on the podcast tomorrow.
Oh,
It's going to be interesting.
there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I told Zach I didn't know who I was going to buy tickets from, because he's a Marine. Zach's my co-host. It's like, who do I get my tickets from?
Get out of here.
That's awesome. There you go. One more thing though. Like for the guys out there that want to support, I do sell shirts, and that helps me with my training and travel. It's $30. And you can Venmo at mski14 and Venmo your size, and I can send them out to you guys, all that good stuff. So anything helps with travel and training, and it's always on point. Shirts, stuff are always looking good. So
Cool.
for that. Thank you guys.
If you can have Emily email me that information, or just send it to me in a message, and I'll make sure I'll post it, and then I'll put it on the podcast notes when we upload the podcast, so people can see it on there as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Super excited. Thanks again for taking the time out of your day to come join us. And yeah, it's awesome, man. Can't wait to watch.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Bobby.
Watch that. We out.
See you.
Oos.